India, at least I would see that the mindset of the students as well as the parents are very, very exam centric. So most of them, I mean, I would not say all, but most of them don't even worry about whether the child is able to learn a particular topic, or whether they are learning something new or not. That is something which is secondary. The primary thing is how much did they score in their exams. The primary thing is what is the rank in the entrance exam, which college did they get, right? So that is how the entire system is. So what happens is, in that race of scoring better marks, many a times, in fact, for a lot of students, this happens that they don't understand what they're learning. They would just mug up a lot of concepts, write them down in their answer sheet, and they'll be able to score decent marks, right? So that was a very common thing that I have observed amongst friends, family, relatives. And that is where the whole idea was to create content in such a way. As I said, there was no fancy studio, there was nothing very fancy to create those lessons. And I think who would know this better than you, because you have watched those old exam fear videos, right? So it was a very basic setup with very basic things. But the whole idea was, I mean, every child who appreciated those content was primarily because of the way very simple concepts were explained, or even complex concepts were broken down to very simple ways for kids to understand, right? So I think my whole idea was to make children understand whatever they learn in their textbooks, right? So, and they should not learn for the fear of exams. So that's how the name exam fear, no more fear of exam. In fact, we had that tagline below exam fear, no more fear of exams. But so now when I meet with so many people, a lot of them, just like you say, that they just love the name, it was so different, it was so catchy and stuff like that. But also along the journey, I came across so many people who said that the name had a negative, you know a, a negative touch to it, because it was exam fear. And then if you look at that logo of exam fear, it had that danger wala symbol on the X. So a lot of them used to say that, why do you, I mean it doesn't suit the kind of work that you do, because you try to spread education, you try to enlighten so many people. So why the name exam fear? In fact, that has been the primary reason we rebranded it to Learner Hub in 2020, where the main focus was learning. Because anyways, our main focus was to make learning more engaging, learning more meaningful and fun. So yeah, but yeah, that was the story of how we got the name of name exam fear.
No, honestly, I did watch a few videos because for me, the name was catchy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was watching some video while he's studying for his physics and chemistry. And the chemistry, especially, was one subject that he was not very fond of because maybe the way it was taught, I have no clue, but he
Mm-hmm.
would find it tough. And when he would watch your videos, he would pick it up far more easy. And that's how he started watching more and more of your chemistry videos. And
Mm-hmm.
when he told me for the first time, I said, "What are you watching while you're studying?" So he said, "Exam Fear, Amma." I said, "What is that?" He said, "That's a YouTube channel." I
Mm-hmm.
still remember my reaction, as in, whoever has done this has put in such practical idea into play here, because exams, like you said, bring a lot of fear because we are mark centric. Now, when you changed it to Learner Hub, and people had already registered exam fear, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
branding and now rebranding. I'm sure by now you were providing it free, and a lot of kids had subscribed to the channel, and you slowly were becoming popular, because that's where I heard about you for the first time, Roshni. I was curious to know who started this, and
Mm-hmm.
I read about you. And then you started appearing in newspapers. You were covered by a lot of print media as well. So, what was that journey like when you stepped on a journey without actually thinking of anything else but giving back and
Mm-hmm.
making your huge talent of teaching, taking
Mm-hmm.
it to the next level of just giving it out to children? What did you feel when people started recognizing you and the world around you started understanding that there's somebody doing something so beautiful for the student community? When did it hit you? Is there any
Mm-hmm.
particular moment or any particular feedback? When did it actually hit you? I'm sure with your work, with the videos. Your life must have been full. When did it
Yeah.
hit you that you're making a difference?
Yeah, so actually, as you very rightly said, that initially it was more about, just giving it a shot, because I just wanted to, I just wanted to make that happen, that, I want to create content. And as I was telling just now, that initial few years was all about creating content. So I didn't worry much about, how many of them are watching, how many are subscribing, but one thing that always mattered to me right from 2011 till today, and that is the comments that I received on the channel. In
Mm.
fact, you won't believe that when I started, even during those days, even if I received, say, 10 comments a day, I used to make sure every morning when I started my work, I would, read those comments which I received on the channel. And I do that even today. So now we receive so many comments that it becomes practically impossible to read all the comments. But I do ensure that whenever I go out for a morning walk or whenever I have time, I read some of the comments every day. So I think gradually with time we started getting like these comments that earlier were used to be very few. It mostly used to be around good video, great video, I understood this, please upload one more chapter, stuff like that. And then gradually we started getting more stories on those comments where kids started telling that we actually have had stories like this where a girl said that I live in a village and I was not allowed to step out of my house to go for maths tuition because there are no good teachers available in the nearby areas, and saying that thank you ma'am, you gave me a pocket tutor because now I am able to access those mathematics content just on a mobile phone. So gradually we started getting more and more such success stories, which made me feel that this was actually benefiting children on the other side. Like initially it was more like one sided thing which I was just uploading, but so I was starting to get the signal that it was actually benefiting kids across the country. Now what happened once was around 2015, and I received an email from a student who said that I have nominated you for some campaign 100 women achievers of India. So there was some email from a random student. I saw that email and I simply ignored because I thought maybe some email, because there was no URL, no, authentic, nothing was very, nothing looked very authentic to me. So I thought it was just some random email. I didn't pay much attention to that. And then over a couple of weeks, I received a call from the Ministry of Women and Child Development that, I was recognized as one of the 100 women achievers of India. So it was all about the nominations happened. So one of those students out of those bunch of students who were watching my content, somebody nominated me, and then the voting happened, and then I was among those 100 women achievers of India. In 2016 I was invited to the Rashtrapati Bhavan to have lunch with the President of India. So it was all like a dream come true, because not even a dream, I would say, because I did not start this journey uh, thinking that one day I'll be able to meet the president, right? So I think what I felt was the effort that I had put in over the years, it was not with an intent to get something, because the way I started it initially, I didn't have a vision to build a company or to grow big or something like that. So it was solely with the intent of making quality education accessible to every child of the country. So over a period of time I realized that it actually brought that impact amongst so many children, and it somewhere it came back. So it came back in this form. And then once I got that recognition, as you were also mentioning it, and the story got covered in several media, both in print as well as online, and then the news was there everywhere. And with that I also started noticing that a lot of more students started coming to the channel, started watching the content, and so the graph just went up and up. So I think that was a phase where it went to the next level, because we got a lot more popularity, a lot more students got to know about us, because since inception we have grown only organically, because we don't run on huge revenues, or we are not a very, heavily funded company, right? So it's a bootstrap simple company, and it has grown organically always. So, but I think with these kind of recognitions, we got a push in our organic growth as well. So I think, yeah, so that was again a phase where, I could feel that shift